Prescription drug abuse continues to rise to the point where the amount of deaths related to it is at an epidemic level. Joining us now to discuss addictions and how to overcome them is Michael Cartwright, chairman of American Addiction Centers and author of Believable Hope. So Michael, how big of an issue has prescription drug abuse become?
Well, putting it in context, 20 million Americans suffer with abuse issues in the United States. 6.3 million Americans are using prescription pain medications for non-medical reasons. So it's a huge number. And then out of that, you've got 40 Americans every single day that are dying from prescription abuse.
And who tends to be the type of person who's addicted to prescription drugs?
You know, I wish we could say it was one particular classification, but it's surprising to know that we treat everything from grandmothers that are 75 to firefighters that are 43. And everything in between. I mean, it really is affecting us on a national scale in every walk of life. Drug abuse in general is not, socioeconomic in nature, and it's not age or specific. I mean, it really does affect all walks of life.
Now, I know you had an alcohol addiction earlier in life. How has that battle helped you help others beat their addictions?
Yeah, absolutely. 21 years ago, I was fortunate enough to get into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was really struggling, 23 years old, struggling with mental health issues, substance abuse, and really desperate for help, and reached out to a grandmother and asked for help and sought that out and realized that treatment does work. And from that experience, I got into helping others just like myself, went back to school, started working in the field, and then from that really got actively involved in advocacy both in DC and nationally, setting up Dual Recovery Anonymous meetings across the country. And later on in life, I set up American Addiction Centers, AmericanAddictionCenters.com. We have a website that you can go to. We have treatment centers across the United States where we serve thousands of people on a yearly basis to help them with issues just like I struggled with.
Well, that's an inspiring story. I understand it was the inspiration to writing your book on the 5 essential elements to beat an addiction. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. What I did was I went back to tell my story about how I overcame it, but also really added in, I've been touched by many, many people in my life. Lou Gossett Jr. is one that touched my life in a meaningful way. He's overcome his addictions. Anthony Hopkins is another one that has overcome his addictions. And so I talk about our stories, how we overcame our issues, and really give some very simple ideas of how to overcome it, but also give some very good tips on where you can look for help. And so in the Believable Hope, you can get that book in any major bookstore, Amazon.com, but it really gives some really heartfelt ways to overcome addiction.
And finally, Michael, where can the viewers go to get more information on beating addiction?
You can go to AmericanAddictionCenters.com, get any of the information I've been talking about, and thank you for your time today.